Lost gloves.
One chilly winter morning, Lina's mother handed her a beautiful new pair of pink gloves.
Lina, Habibi, these will keep you warm at school. But remember, you must be responsible and take good care of them. Keep them in your coat pockets when you're not wearing them.
Lina admired the soft wool gloves with their delicate flower pattern.
Winter is long, and we need to take care of our things. When you're playing with your friends, make sure to keep track of them, being read and following instructions carefully. Being responsible means thinking ahead and following instructions carefully.
At school, Lina loved showing her new gloves to her friends. During the first break, she wore them proudly in the playground while playing with Sarah and Noor. When it was time for their favorite game of hopscotch, Lina took off her gloves. Instead of putting them in her pockets as her mother had advised, she placed them on a nearby bench. The girls became so absorbed in their game, laughing and jumping, that Lina completely forgot about her gloves. Only when the bell rang did she remember. Running back to the bench, her heart sank. The gloves were gone. Panic filled Lina's chest as she searched everywhere, under the bench, around the playground, and near the school entrance. Sarah and Noor helped her look, but the gloves seemed to have vanished. With tears in her eyes, Lina thought about her mother's words and felt a heavy weight of regret. With tears in her eyes, Lina thought about her mother's words and felt a heavy weight of regret. During class, Lina could hardly concentrate. She kept thinking about how she should have listened to her mother's advice. When her teacher, Fatima, noticed her distress, Lina explained what happened.
Sometimes, the best lessons come from our mistakes. Why don't we make an announcement to the whole school?
The next morning, Fatima helped Lina write a notice about the lost gloves. They posted it on the school bulletin board. Lina spent every break looking for her gloves, checking lost and found boxes, and asking other students if they had seen them. 3 days passed, and Lina had almost lost hope. But this time had changed her. She started paying more attention to her belongings, keeping her school supplies organized, and following her mother's advice about other things too. She realized that her mother's wisdom came from love and experience. On the 4th day, a younger student named Yasmin came to Lina's classroom. "Are these your gloves? I found them near the swings, but I didn't know whose they were until I saw your notice." Lina's joy was overwhelming. She hugged her gloves tightly, thanking Yasmin repeatedly. Running home that afternoon, Lina couldn't wait to tell her mother everything. But first, she had something important to say.
Mama, I'm sorry I didn't listen to your advice about the gloves. You were right about being responsible. I learned that taking care of my things is important, and that your advice comes from wanting to teach me good habits. You were right about being responsible. I learned that taking care of my things is important, and that your advice comes from wanting to teach me good habits.
Habibi, sometimes we need to learn lessons in our own way. I'm proud of you for understanding why responsibility matters, and even prouder that you're honest about your mistake.
From that day forward, Lina became known among her friends as someone who could be trusted with borrowed items. She kept her gloves safely in her pockets when not wearing them, and she helped younger students organize their belongings too. The lost gloves had taught her more than just responsibility. They had shown her the wisdom in her mother's words and the importance of taking care of what we have. As winter continued, Lina wore her pink gloves with pride, not just because they were pretty, but because they reminded her of an important lesson learned. Each time she put them in her pockets, she smiled, knowing she had grown a little wiser from her experience.